What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the week. What is this? 12 Thanksgiving week special edition of the Prop Shop Show here on RotoGrinders. I am Brit Devine, joined by the creator of the Prop Shop himself, Mr. Will Priester, Chief Justice 06. Will, last week, very good week for me on the props, DFS, sports betting. I think I nailed my play of the week was Travis Kelce. That went over real fast. We had that Melvin Gordon. I know the whole prop shop was on that by the time the week closed. That was something I wrote up on Scores and Odds. Trying to
get that anymore.
Yeah, not this week. Trying to recreate some of that the good juju for everybody and run it back for this Thanksgiving and Sunday slate. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Thank you for doing all the heavy lifting last week because, man, Brian Robinson sure didn't get there. My God, I don't even want to tell you how much Brian Robinson I had last week. It was an unhealthy amount. But as I tell the prop shop, if you've got a lot of a prop, I probably got quadruple what you have. But yeah, thanks to some of your calls, man. The whole thing didn't burn to the ground. So I appreciate it. Hopefully I can get back to doing my positive contributions this weekend, which every play didn't fail, obviously, but I had a whole lot of Robinson last week against Houston. And gosh,
he should have got there.
I know.
Listen, some of them, Derrick Henry should have got there on Thursday, 27 rushes. Listen, we do our best. We can't win them all, Chief. That's how. Otherwise, we wouldn't be on the show. We'd be on our own private island.
Absolutely.
All right. So we got a little bit of a different slate this week. Normally we do Thursday. We're still going to do Thursday. Happens to be Thanksgiving. But we got 3 games to talk about. I was talking to Chief pre-show. I'm not these. So normally, Chief, I like these. I like doing the show Tuesday because we get the props out before the sports books get. And they're usually off. I think we can find some. The problem is the sports books have already put out all the props for the Thursday game, so they're all basically what the sports book would have them at. However, I do have a couple of plays here. I do have a premium play from Scores and Odds. I'll give you guys for a tight end on one of the games here. But, Chief, why don't we just go game by game, maybe talk this out a little bit, find some of the best plays. I'm not really on a lot. Maybe you got something good for me on the Thursday slate. So let's start off. Buffalo in Detroit for the second week in a row. Does this count? Are they on the road this week? Is this like, I don't know. I know they're on the road, but they didn't have to travel. I don't know if we look into any of that stuff. Prize Picks had Josh Allen at 272.5 for a minute. And I got on that on like 6 or 7 different props. I mixed that in with. He's back up to 285. What do we think is going to happen in this passing game? It's indoors in a dome against Detroit. They can't play any defense. And they're scrappy enough on offense to put them some points. What are we doing with this Buffalo game?
Well, they can't play defense. Better talk to the New York Giants. They just this week.
We knew they were a fake team. We knew the Giants were fake.
Oh God, the Giants. But anyway, which is another one of those weird, just a weird week, man. Did Saquon have 16 yards rushing or something stupid? Oh gosh, just don't remind me. I reminded myself. Sorry, folks. We are now back on track. It was 20 yards to be exact. But I do like this game. Actually, my favorite prop from this game is got to be Stephon Diggs. I know that, Stephon Diggs caught a touchdown last week, but I think he was professionally, Brit, let's call it professionally frustrated with this game last week. I mean, you saw him talk with the coach, and he wasn't making a scene. You got to respect that, right? He's probably just like, hey, coach, look, I mean, no targets, barely in the first half. Come on, man. I at least got to touch the ball some. And as we've always said in the prop shop, go back and look at, Adams and, Hopkins. The squeaky wheel is going to get the ball this week, I think, Brett. So I'm not worried about Okuda, any of those guys. I think Stephon Diggs over 89.5 is a pretty good way to get some exposure to him. I don't even mind the receptions prop this week, but the receiving yards I'm definitely in on. I wish they would give us the targets, Britt, but I think we hit them pretty good with the targets. They just kind of quit giving it. They just wiped that category out. They don't even give us that anymore.
They're here. It's 9.5. We got them all for Thursday.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they're there. God, I didn't see that. Yeah,
give
me the over.
It was maybe like a half hour. It was maybe about a half hour ago.
That's the best. Okay, that's the best prop, I think. Honestly, seriously, I think he gets 10 this week. Once again, squeaky wheel syndrome. He might have 7 targets in the first half. So I really, really like the Diggs 9.5. That's one of my top props at this point now. I was thinking maybe he came in at 10.5 at 9.5. I think that's a steal. I like that one, and the receiving yards the most. Allen, I'm a little weirded out here with Allen at 285 because I'm not sure exactly how much they are going to allow him to keep throwing the ball 40 and 50 times. Like they were doing that, and I think this elbow thing may have tapered off. And so, like if you look at his pass attempts, like he was at 43 against Minnesota. That game was different. Like it was a tighter game. But against Cleveland, they were kind of in control, 27 attempts. If the game is tight, maybe he goes over. But I'm sort of afraid of this passing yards prop this week, and I'm usually not afraid of it with Allen, but you know how good are the Detroit Lions going to be? And I know we're kind of sitting on this game a while, but the main target for me in this game is going to be Diggs, especially since we have a slew of other games on Thursday. I'm not really going to force the issue. Going to probably mainly stick with Diggs in this game and let it ride from there.
Yeah, that's the one I was mainly looking at too. Maybe Jamal Williams, I was sort of eyeing, but I think he needs some. Where's the Jamal Williams to score 3 touchdowns? I think he's up here for a touchdown prop. I don't hate that because if they're going to score,
he actually has a prop. He's got a good one though, Brit, because he's got a pass rush receiving touchdown prop. Like that. That's actually a really good one because that gives you both options in the event they throw it to him on a swing pass or something. I don't hate that. Like I think that's plus EV going with Williams with the added reception touchdown as well.
Yeah, I haven't checked to see what the actual sportsbook odds on it is anytime touchdown, but it's got to be better than plus money. Negative minus 125, minus 130, something like that. So I don't think that's a bad one. I did get that Josh Allen 280 or 272 when it was at. If you're looking for the over, underdog has it at 282.5. So if you do like Josh Allen to go over, you might as well play him there. I've got definitely have a play you're going to want to play on underdog in a little bit from the Thursday games when we talk about the Dallas game in just a second. So let's go to the Dallas game. I'm just going to come right out with my prop of the week. I wrote this up on Scores and Odds already, and that is Dalton Schultz. Now he was 35.5 on the sports books. He's 36.5 on underdog. He's 37.5 on Prize Picks. So the Giants are allowing the 5th most receiving yards to tight ends this year. And with Dak Prescott at quarterback, Schultz has gone over 35.5, 10 of his last 13 games when Dak's been quarterback.
35.5 on Thrive for what it's worth.
Yeah, I did get that on Thrive, and you get the 3.6x on Thrive if you're doing a 2-pick. So Schultz, 35, and that is a must play in my opinion. I don't hate it at 36.5 on underdog. I don't hate it at 37.5 on Prize Picks. I really like it at 35.5 on Thrive, especially if you find another prop you like there. If you like the Allen over, that's a nice little combo in my opinion.
Diggs is at 89.
Yep. Yeah, you can take Diggs over there. So you can do that on Thrive. That's certainly my favorite play from this game. I bet this in the sports book. I've laddered this all the way up. So I took I'm on Dallas to win this game, Big Chief. I got a -9. I got them all the way up to -21, right, on the alt spreads to basically just have another monster game here. The Giants are frauds. We saw what Dallas did to not a completely fraudulent Minnesota team, but we all knew Minnesota was running a little hot here. I think Dallas looks to be the clear team along with San Francisco and, of course, Philadelphia probably to come out of the NFC. I think Dallas is going to absolutely run away with this game. How do you view that playing out? And then how would you play props if you think that's the way it goes?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think Dallas is in control of this game. So as a result, I'm going back to Danny Dimes again. Like this prop at 190, I've seemed to be on it in the right games every time. I'm going right back here over 190 and a half. And I know this pass rush just kind of got off against Kirk Cousins, but I'm expecting the Giants to, do a better job than that. I mean, Kirk Cousins got sacked 7 times in that game. I'm not expecting that for Danny Dimes, who also has some wheels to keep the chains moving to give him more time to pass. So I think, and also, Brit, the Cowboys' Achilles heel has been rushing if there ever was something to give them problems. So between the rushing, I still think the Giants are going to be behind. But once again, I think the rushing will give them enough juice to stay in the game. I think they will need Daniel Jones to throw to keep them alive here. So at 190.5, I'm taking over. I'm also, believe it or not, I'm probably going to be in as a result of that. I think I'm going to be in on Saquon receiving yards this week. We've got him at 22.5. He hasn't really passed that number, but I'm gonna go with the blitz here. I'm gonna call this like a blitz play. It's gonna look really, really, really nasty on paper, but I can almost assure you he's gonna be in the dome this week. I think we get a bump with Saquon. I think Saquon's able to take one here to not to the house, but the ability to catch a couple passes out in space. I like Saquon at 22.5. He hasn't really hit that all season, but I think they're going to have to throw it enough for him to get there. So I like that one a lot. In terms of receptions in that game, we've got CeeDee Lamb sitting at 5.5. I'm inclined to take the over there. I just think, in this game, they're going to want to win the thing pretty handedly yet again. And I believe the Giants will keep enough pressure on them to keep them passing the ball down the field. So I really like CeeDee Lamb here. I think that's a really, really strong play. I think his pass yards are sitting at, not pass yards, receiving yards. I think they were sitting around 66 in some places and 69 in other places, 70.5. I think that's moved. So 70.5 there on Prize Picks. And then let me go to Underdog. Because he's at 69.5 on Underdog. That's what it is. So
he's 68.5 on 68.5 on Thrive. Pair that. That's another good one.
Yeah. And I think Danny Dimes is 193.5 on Thrive, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Brit?
I'm looking at that right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and even at 193, like I'm okay with that. I'm expecting Danny Dimes to go over 200. So those are some props that I really like this week. I think those are good props for that game for sure. Last a lot. These are still some of my favorite props, and we get a slew of them this week. No way I'm not taking Graham Gano at 1.5 in Dallas. Like, I think he's going over here. No way I don't take him over 1.5 in Dallas, in the dome, a controlled environment. Brett Maher, I don't hate him either, but I'm going to lean Gano here. Gano is going to be one of my top plays in that game on Thursday.
Yeah, Meyer, you give him the 60-yard. What's the fantasy points when he bangs a couple 60-yarders through inside? That looks pretty juicy for him from that perspective. All right, so that's the Dallas game. Let's go to the final game. I want to ask, is this a Kirk Cousins? Does a Thanksgiving night? That's a primetime game, right? Are we classifying?
Sure.
All right, so this is. Stay away from anything Minnesota passing game. Kirk Cousins is going to pumpkin it up. Just absolutely horrific in any primetime game. What are we doing on this one? I didn't really see too much I was interested in. I wanted to see, did they have Hunter Henry at 2 receptions. I think that's probably going to be a push at best. And a reason, he could go under on that one. I think the Jacoby Myers props, you can really get to Minnesota through the wide receivers. I mean, we saw Dallas do basically whatever they wanted last week. I like Stevenson to have a little bit of a bounce back game. I don't know. I'm really concerned for the Minnesota offense in this one. I think, do we have like a fantasy score on the defense? We don't have the Patriots defense out here yet, do I? They haven't added those. If that comes up, I wouldn't mind that one. I think the Patriots D is going to be able to do whatever they want, blitzing to Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins pretty bad against the blitz. I don't know. I guess I'm just concerned for this Minnesota offense here.
Well, I mean, the one guy I'm not concerned about is definitely going to be Mr. Justin Jefferson at 85.5. I'm inclined to take the over here. Miami, Arizona, Washington, Buffalo, struggled against Dallas. And I know we are going to see some Judon. I was shocked they didn't give us tackles, Brett. Had they given us tackles, I'm telling you right now, I would have been taking
They'll be there.
I'm assuming
tackles. People know tackles. You got to go to the prop shop on Thursday. Search Chiefs Post. You'll find the tackles on Thursday. That's when they come out.
Yeah, I'm almost positive Judon's probably going to come in at 2 to 3. Like that. Those are thoughts. I'm absolutely taking Judon this week if he comes out at a reasonable number. So those are kind of my ones for Thursday. Like you said, it wasn't like a whole slew of props, but I think these are enough to get us to the promised land here.
Yeah. So there's a little more action going on Thursday. DFS prop wise, my favorite by far. That Thrive. If you find a combination, or maybe on Thrive when the Sunday props come out, if they still have Schultz 35.5, that is the absolute best play in my opinion. I paired that with the Daniel Jones on Thrive too while we were doing the show here. Hope for a little correlation in that one, Chief.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Al asked about Slayton. I think Slayton at 50.5. I mean, that's a great prop. I mean, he's been pretty much over that since he's come back into the lineup, to be honest with you. How many weeks are we going now? Probably about 4 or 5 weeks.
They have no one else.
I think he said he had no one else to throw to. Yeah. The corpse of Kenny Golladay is laying around somewhere in that facility. Because man, his career just seems to be done in New York.
It was done. His career, Chief. He decided his career was done when he inked that deal. $72 million. My career would be done too, Chief. I wouldn't really if that was all. If you're going to collect that. He obviously didn't have the heart to play football anymore, or the skills just really fell off. Maybe it's a little bit of both, but the man got paid. Congratulations. And that's that. Sometimes that's how it works in professional sports. Baseball is the best. You just get if you're a good baseball player, you can make a couple $100 million and not care at all, and they still got to pay you for that for the rest of the rest of eternity in baseball. Same with basketball. There's some really bad basketball content.
Tito Martinez still getting paid? I'm just kidding.
Bobby Bonilla gets $1 million every year for the rest of his life.
I'll take it.
All right, let's move to the Sunday props. We always to start with the passing yards. Let me look at my little cheat sheet I made here. So I've got 2 passing yard props I'm on for Sunday. How many do you got? Let's start and see. The first one is definitely, actually on Underdog. If you're looking for something on Underdog, is Ryan Tannehill is at 187, and he's like 215 on Prize Picks. This is the absolute opposite of what we normally see, Chief. So based on the yardage alone and the ability of, I think he's got an actual receiving core now that he's got
Burks
back. Hooper at tight end can get it done. They've got Robert Woods had a good game. So this on Underdog, this might be my favorite passing prop of the week. If you need something over there at 187.5, looks like a pretty juicy passing prop. I'm going to go back to Prize Picks, Chief. I'm going to turn it over to you. What are you looking at over there?
Well, you already know my first one for the week. It's Tua Tagovailoa against Houston. Like that, this Miami offense has actually been really good, Brit. And so at 260.5 against Houston, am I expecting Jeff Wilson to have a game as well? I am, but I think Tua is going to come out. I think this offense is going to get it done. And we talk about Lovie Smith, the bend don't break defense. I know we hear that all around. But that's what's happening. Like they're going to keep everything in front of them. They're going to give up some short to intermediate stuff. So we're not going to get too much of the deep ball on Sunday. That's the difference, right? But we're going to get 10 to 15 yard chunks, 8 yard chunks. I mean, they're going to get whatever they want within that 10 to 15 yard range. They're just not giving up the 60-yard play unless Tyreek or Waddle create that in yards after the catch. So I really like Tua this week. I think this should be a big week for him to really get rolling here. I think we're starting to see some really good improvement in the Baltimore defense since they made those trades. Trevor Lawrence sitting at 235.5, under all day on that, like all day long. I don't think I would be surprised if Trevor Lawrence sniffs anything close to 220 this week against the Baltimore defense. So I like that. And then of course, I think you're showing the people right now. If you head on over to Underdog, I think we're going to get even more passing yards. They've got him at 257. Like that's where you want to get him at right now. Kind of like
that's
they've
total.
got two at I think two. Oh, total yards. Oops, gotcha. But yeah, I think
it was at
273
on
yeah, so you get that on Prize Picks right now. But yeah, I'm not taking Lawrence over at any stretch of the imagination. And then Brit, this is kind of an easy one. Like we don't really have to think about it per se, but I still think it's worth mentioning because I don't want to overlook the greatness that's happening right now. They're still giving us Patrick Mahomes under 300 yards. He's at 290. And guess what, folks? The LA Rams stay on defense right now. Like Patty Mahomes is clearing 300 by 30, 40 yards right now. I really like him at 290.5 for the over against the Rams, who stink on defense currently. And I'm not expecting that to change on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to throw two. If you go to the first half, I mean, Mahomes is going over no matter what he does, but I like the first half angle on this one. I mean, he's just crushing everything. So he's at 145 in the first half. I'm playing it. I've played a bunch of Mahomes from this one already, Chief, from 145 in the first half on Prize Picks. Just a bit of a game theory angle because I think this game's going to be over real quick. So until they get like 28 points, Mahomes is going to be chucking. Get that done in the first half. Pacheco can go nuts. So when the second half prop comes out, you get the Pacheco on Sunday evening, second half. Ride that into the sunset.
Yeah. And let me say this too, Britt. I'm not sure. You guys know how I feel about Denver. Yes, I know Derek Carr went over. He was under in regulation, if I'm not mistaken. Only by a yard, I think. But I think he was under. It doesn't matter. Denver's defense is still holding teams. I mean, you see, teams just aren't scoring on Denver. It's tough sledding. And this week, Britt, they get Sam Darnold. I don't know where Sam Darnold is going to be on this board. If Sam Darnold's at 180, I'm still probably taking the under. Like, this Carolina offense is bad, right? Like,
I saw
very
Monkey
bad.
Knife Fight. I'm going to bring up. They had some Sam Darnold up there, I believe.
Oh my gosh!
Let me go find it, and let's see what Monkey Knife Fight because there was one. I emptied the clip.
He comes out at 180 to 190.
He's at 180 on Monkey Knife Fight.
What did I tell you
right now?
Brit, I don't care. Like,
you want the 14.5 fantasy points? No chance, right?
Oh no way, no chance,
no way.
Not Sam Darnold. I mean, this is his first week of like practice with the ones. He's getting a kind of a weird spot start. He may start again next week. I can't wait to get Sam Darnold props on Prize Picks. I don't even know if the blitz is going to have Sam Darnold inflated, Britt. Like, that's how bad this is going to be. So, any Sam Darnold props you see, if he comes in, like I said, he'll probably be at 180.5. Those are my thoughts. I'm still taking the under. I do not see him getting this offense on track when we haven't been on track all season.
All right. So I mentioned Mahomes. The other guy I'm definitely on today is Joe Burrow against Tennessee. This is completely off, Chief. So Tennessee is allowing 287 passing yards per game.
All day.
That's not even a Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow is going over the 270. You compare him with T. Higgins and feel very, very comfortable with that. If you like Tua, one of my plays of the week right now is definitely Jalen Waddle from receiving yards at 66.5 on Prize Picks. Chief, I probably have 20. I have 20 something tickets in with Jalen Waddle already. Get on this. This comes out. Prize Picks drops on Monday afternoon, and I want bananas on Jalen Waddle at 66.5. So that's a great pairing.
I mean, since we're in the receiving yards category, I mean, we can just sit there if you want. I know that's your category this week, so please lay it on us, my man.
It's like I think every week is my favorite is the receiving yards. So I mentioned Jalen Waddle for sure at 66. He's at 74.5 on Underdog. He's got 66 or more yards in 8 of 10 games. Now, I wanted to ask you with Tua, are you worried at all? Because teams aren't passing on Houston because they don't have to. I want to see what the rushing props come out for Miami, because I'm definitely, this is like, I'm going to take Brian Robinson. I'm going to take Antonio Gibson overs, right? I'm going to take the 2 Miami running back overs when they come out. I'm still going to play Jalen Waddle because the offense is so efficient. But Jalen Waddle at 66.5 is definitely too low. A couple others. Mark Andrews is sitting at 60.5, Chief, against Jacksonville. And last time I checked, there's really no one else to catch the ball. This is way too low. This is way too low of a line for Mark Andrews. He's got another week in it. He wasn't even fully healthy against Carolina. He had 63. Going up against Jacksonville, 60.5 is too low. I think he's 70.5 on underdog, right? Which I think is more towards the correct line. So the 60.5 on Prize Picks, got to get in that now. As soon as the sports books come out, these props are all going up. I can pretty much guarantee you on the receiving yards. I got Devontae Adams at 85.5. Last time I checked, Chief, there's no one else to throw the ball to. And I don't know if anybody knows this. Devontae Adams is pretty good. He's going up against Seattle. Look at what he's done since everyone's been injured. 146, 126, 141, and that was against Denver. 85.5. That's going over. If you want to take that, the first half too on Adams, looks like a really nice play too. Not that I'm expecting him to not get there in the full game, but you can get there at half too. You can just mix it all up to reduce some of your variance. I absolutely love Devontae Adams. If I gave the prop shop, Chief, I had the Denver Bronco. My correlation play of the week was Russell Wilson, Melvin Gordon. Can't play Melvin Gordon this week, and Cortland Sutton, all going over last week against the Raiders. If Jerry Jeudy's out, Cortland Sutton 60.5, way too low. He's going over on that one. Get on that. I'm waiting on Jeudy, because if Jeudy plays, I'm probably not going to play it. Jeudy's out. Definitely playing Sutton on any site I can get my hands on him. And I don't even need to wait until Friday or Saturday, a report, Chief. If like Wednesday comes out and he doesn't practice and they're like, I'm going to play Cortland Sutton. So as soon as Wednesday practice reports come out, I'm going to be jumping on that. Those are the main ones I had. I already mentioned Dalton Schultz for the Thursday slate. That's where I'm at on receiving yards. What's your favorite of all of those? And then what are you looking at, man?
Well, I've got one that I really like, but I don't think anybody else is going to like it, Brit. I think you covered the board great. Sutton was one that I really liked as well. Yep. Listen, man, I don't even want to tell you how many times I've taken Drake London under 38.5 and hit this season. Like, I just keep taking the under. And this week they get Washington.
2 yards.
This week they get Washington. And I think I mentioned it in the prop shop last week. I know they were saying, we were going to take the over. They were playing. And I was like, look, man, I said, I get it because the blitz is really high on Drake London every week. And, you know, Carter's my boy. I love Carter. I'm on the blitz show. But I'm just committed. I'm committed. Yeah, I'm committed to taking Drake London under as long as we get him around 40. Like, if we get him at 32.5, then I'll just stay away. 38.5 every week. It pretty much comes out around the same thing. I am committed. Once again, Brit, unders on Drake London at 38.5. I'm going to roll it out yet again this week. It's probably the Drake London under and the rushing attack against Houston have probably been my top 2 spots for the year so far. Like, it's not even close. So, and I know it didn't come together last week, but once again, man, like I said, I'm on Drake London unders heavy yet again.
So I've been on board with you. I don't know if I can do this against Washington, because Washington, you can't run on Washington at all. I'm a little worried in this one for you on this one. I don't know, Chief. Well, you're gonna win when he has like 3 yards for sure, but I'm a little worried on Drake London personally this week. Like, I don't know. I guess there's no one else to throw the ball to, but it certainly didn't matter last week.
I mean, they've been throwing like so. Here's what happens. I think Olamide Zaccheaus, right, picks up a chunk play. Damiere Byrd picks up a chunk play. They'll throw the ball to Kyle Pitts. Gosh, does he need to get out of Atlanta? He's out. Kyle Pitts? No. I mean out of the organization. I mean to a new team.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All these.
They
need a new quarterback who can throw.
Oh God. So I get all that. I'm just going to continue to hit Drake London under. Like I'm just going to continue to do it.
I'm a little scared, but I'm not. I wouldn't take the over. I just don't think I'm going to add that.
You're just going to avoid it. I get it. You know, I'm usually on Mike Evans over as well. I'm just kind of going to stay away from that one as well this week.
What do you think of Cooper? You usually like Brissett. Brissett's been playing good. Now he's going to lose his job after this week. But Cooper's at 59.5. It's a home game. Now this wasn't a road game. This was a neutral site game in Detroit. So it doesn't count for the home road splits. Let's just be clear on this one. This is a home game.
It is. No, honestly, I don't mind Amari here at 59.5. He's been playing fine. What I will say too, Brit, is Brissett this week, I want to see where his pass completions come out at. My assumption is it's 20.5. We got it at 19.5 last week, and I think he completed around 22, 23 passes, something like that this week. So I'm not exactly sure where we're going to get it at specifically, but my thought is 20.5, and I'm still going to be inclined to take the over there. My only concern is I don't know if I trust the Buccaneers enough to push Cleveland to have to throw the ball. Like, and this may lead me into rushing yards, but if there was ever a week I was going to take Nick Chubb overs this week. I know we're talking about Amari Cooper, and I'm with you on the Cooper over for sure. But if there was ever a week I'm taking Chubb rushing yards over after we're starting to get him discounted, 78.5, I'm taking him over against the Bucs. No doubt about it.
What's he at? Or I didn't see. What's his line on Underdog? 76.5 on Underdog.
Take it over.
2 yards. I'll take that. Pair that with Schultz right here. I like now. Schultz is up to 37.5 on Underdog now. So maybe a couple of you guys got that. But Chubb at 76.5 if you like that. I'm definitely going to our boy Derrick Henry. We should have got there against Green Bay with the 27 plus rushes. We're going to get there against Cincinnati. It's just 90.5. Too low for Derrick Henry line.
Going right back. Yeah.
This is one I'm definitely played. I probably have, I don't know, 10 or 15 different cards with Derrick Henry sprinkled in right now on the over.
Absolutely.
What else are you looking at? You got your boy Brian Robinson. He's back at 50.5 against Atlanta. Last I checked, Chicago was running all over Atlanta. Do we like Brian Robinson here? Do we want to see what the Antonio Gibson line comes out at?
My assumption is Gibson's going to come out around where he was. Gibson probably comes out at 48.5. That's my guess. He was 46.5 last week. What happened? What was so weird in that game? They just gave Gibson so many touches early, and then they just let him stand. It was so weird. Like if Robinson gets 4 more carries, he goes over easily. It's just anyway. It is what it is. So here's one of my favorite unders of the week. You know, we know Washington, they're not going to allow you to run on them. I'm actually take Cordero Patterson under 45.5 this week. Not only because of the Washington schematics, but Atlanta's using three and four running backs if you include Mariota. They're using Patterson, they're using Algier, they're using what's the other guy? Oh boy. I can't remember his name, but they're using the third running back a couple carries, and Mariota's running, and Washington's a tough run defense.
Oh, they got Huntley. Yeah,
Huntley,
Patterson had 10 carries last week.
And how many?
In like the absolute
8 or 9?
He had 8 for 55, and then Huntley
and
had 1. Mariota had 13.
Exactly, and Huntley had what, 5 or 6?
Just 1.
Oh, okay. So he was the odd man out, which he's always the lesser of the 3. But I'm taking Cordell Patterson under 45.5 this week against a tough Washington run defense, and we're going to go from there. A favorite of mine, Kenneth Walker, 73.5 against Las Vegas. You better believe I'm taking the over this week. No, he kind of had a rough time against Tampa Bay. I don't care about that. That was in Germany. Give me Kenneth Walker. Give me the over this week against the Raiders.
Yeah, it looks like that game's in Seattle. We're going to have Seattle weather, a little bit of rain, a little bit of wind, not too hot, not too cold, just your typical Seattle weather up there. So definitely can get behind that one. The rest of I didn't really see too much. We were playing Pierce a lot earlier. He's really fallen off, right? 8 rush yards against Washington. So this is why Chiefs on the Patterson under. I think that's fine. He's not on underdog. I think I see. No, I didn't see that. Oh, Monkey Knife Fight has Patterson at 53.5. So if you like that, let's see here. Where's the more or less? So you can get on Monkey Knife Fight. They've got, it's always tough to take Patterson fantasy points because he can do some strange things.
Yeah.
Algier.
The bad thing is I don't like the McLaurin prop with that. Like if McLaurin was at 60, I'd probably be inclined to take it at 71, man. I'm just, gosh.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, there's really no good pair on Monkey Knife. And you don't get the 3.5 till a little bit later in the week on Monkey Knife Fight. So I don't really see anything we can attack personally right there. Anything else you want to talk about? I guess we need to remind everybody, right? If you're looking for tackle props, Chief will drop those in
along with Sir Jimmer and Quinella. Those guys will be contributing as well.
I gave you a new source new source, Chief. By the way, all of those hit. I took all those to the bank too. Last week. So we got those. We got some extra special attention in the prop shop for tackles. So make sure to check all that out on just if you're looking for the best tackle plays, go to the prop shop. Just use the RotoGrinders account into the Discord, and then you go to the prop shop. It's all free. It doesn't cost you anything. You'll be able to get those on Thursday. Check back Sunday morning. Chief will have his favorite tackle props for Sunday morning as well there. They just don't release them. It's basically the last thing the sports books release. And then sites like Prize Picks and Underdog and those will release the tackle props basically in line with the sports books, but some people don't have access to sports books. You just have the prop sites. So you're able to get action on those if you want. I don't know. I think we're about done, Chief. What's Chief doing for Thanksgiving? What's it look like at the Priester household?
I'm going to my in-laws this year, my Aunt Ann's house, and so it's going to be a family affair. Aunt Ann is my fiance's aunt, by the way, but we're on a first name basis around here, so we're going to Ann's. There's going to be plenty of food, I'm sure. Everybody's bringing something. If I must say, hats off to my fiance, man. Like, she makes the best banana pudding I've ever had in my life.
Oh, and man.
No. Let me tell you.
The best. I want it mailed to me, Chief.
I make a good banana pudding. I really do. And I tasted hers one time, and I said, I'm never making banana pudding again. Like, you can just make that. Now, I make the mac and cheese and a few other things. But, yeah, man, if who knows? The Devine household, I might be able to ship you a little something in one of those cooled containers.
Yeah, give me that banana pudding. I want to ask you this. The chat, if you guys are on YouTube, you can click the like button. We'd appreciate that. Mac and cheese. Me and my wife have this discussion. Breadcrumbs or no breadcrumbs in the mac and cheese?
I don't do breadcrumbs. That's not my thing. I have put so we're in the low country here. I have done some like cultural things, like put some seafood in there before, or we've done like some grilled chicken, like, and not big pieces of grilled chicken, like kind of chopped grilled chicken, but that's more cultural because we're in the low country near the beach area, and it's a low country thing. But no breadcrumbs on the mac and cheese. We do it straight. Bake it in the oven. Got to use your eggs. Got to use your milk. Got to use your butter. Got to get that salt and pepper going. My secret is accent. Got to have block cheese and cut it up. You can use whole milk or evaporated milk. And evaporated is going to give you a little different flavor. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, Brit. That's the way we do it down south here.
Well, I see Devin somehow. I didn't even know you could do this on YouTube. There's a poll up. Breadcrumbs. Devin's on the breadcrumbs too. I'm on team breadcrumbs. The wife hates the breadcrumbs, so we split it down the middle. We make the mac and cheese. Half of it gets the breadcrumbs. Half of it doesn't. Now, do I put a little more breadcrumbs on like 60% of it? Of course I do, right? Because I like the breadcrumbs on my mac and cheese. But everyone have a nice Thanksgiving. I'm going to be on the lookout for the special banana pudding package coming in the mail. And everyone be safe. Have a good Thanksgiving. Good luck on all your props this week. We'll be back next week. and run it all back. So, Will, thanks for joining me. I'm Brit, and we out you.